is just, I'm lost for words at this, because this person I'm about to discuss is literally one of my all-time favorite vocalists. And he is a member of one of my all-time favorite groups in music. Okay, and no, I'm not talking about Jermaine Jackson, okay? I'm talking about DeBarge, okay? That's right, I am a huge DeBarge fan, and I am a huge DeBarge fan, okay? Don't play with my DeBarges, okay? Because I stand for them, all right? So, late yesterday, I happened up on a video about DeBarge being arrested. And eldebarge, I want to say, has been through a lot. And it really stems from the family. And then also bad business deals that they got caught up in when they were in the music industry coming up. So I'm going to elaborate on that after I finish reading the article. Okay? So this is what it reads. eldebarge, a courtesy of Entertainment Magazine. DeBarge arrested on multiple drug and weapons charges in California. This musician DeBarge was arrested in Burbank early Sunday morning. Police have confirmed to EW. The singer-songwriter, best known for his family's 1985 hit Rhythm of the Night, was charged with 4 separate drug and weapons charges after officers found an expandable metal baton, pepper spray, and suspected narcotics in his truck. The Burbank Police Department said. Officers first approached DeBarge, real name Eldra DeBarge, at a gas station around 3:40 a.m. after they noticed the vehicle had expired tags. Burbank police said. During their interaction, they discovered the weapons and learned that DeBarge did not have a valid driver's license to operate his vehicle. He was arrested and charged with illegal possession of a baton, unlawful use of tear gas, illegal possession of a controlled substance, and illegal possession of drug paraphernalia. DeBarge has since posted bond and is scheduled to appear in court March 9th, 2023. Representatives for DeBarge did not immediately respond to EW's request for comment. This isn't DeBarge's first run-in with the law. The 61-year-old musician, who has spoken about his struggle with drug addiction in the past, was arrested and charged with felony vandalism in 2018, per TMZ. I didn't even know about that. He was also arrested for domestic violence in 2007 and for drug possession in 2012. I knew about the domestic violence, though, and the drug possession. But the drug charges were dropped because of a lack of sufficient evidence. Yes. He also served 13 months of a 2-year sentence at a California prison on drug-related crimes in 2008. Now, that one, I know that case very well. So, I'm going to tell you something, and I don't care what nobody say. The DeBarge family, they've been through a lot. But there are 2 things that I believe, and I've come to terms with this. One, not as kids, but once they moved to Grand Rapids and got away from their father, there was angels that was surrounding them. And 2, they know how to use drugs. Okay? They are masters at handling drugs. I'm just going to be honest with you. Because if you see how they look, some of them, and you's like, wait, you still here? I mean, you don't want to say that, but it's like, wait a minute. There's only one thing that explains this. You got angels around you, and you must really love Christ. And they really do love Christ. They really do. I have to say this. No matter what they've done in their life and what they've been through, they have never forsaken Jesus Christ. They have never forsaken him, like they're Christians, and they are Christians. Like, they believe in the teachings of Jesus Christ. You have some people that claim they are, but they don't really believe it. They really do. But this is the problem with the DeBarge family, including DeBarge. their mother allowed them to be abused by their father. Buddy and Bobby were maliciously sexually abused by their father in the worst way. And Bobby more so than Buddy. And Bobby in turn did bad things to his brother Tommy and James. Eldra too, but not as bad as Tommy and James. But allegedly, Tommy, according to some of the people who were in the group switch, and this was an interview that was given, Luther Ingram, who is the brother of the late James Ingram, saw what was going on with the brothers. And he said, what I witnessed, I will never go back and work. I could never go back and work with them. I couldn't do it. When they were going to do the reunion in 94, he was like, I can't do it. He was the only one that said, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Because of the things I witnessed. Now, it's one thing if you witnessed, you was disrespected, but he was like, no, I'm not doing it. Now, what has been witnessed, according to people who know the family, Bobby used to do sexual things to his brother Tommy, who passed away a couple of years ago. And Bobby actually had Ard James while DeBarge was on tour in 83 with Jermaine. I think it was with Jermaine Jackson, and they opened up for the deal had opened up for them. And no, I'm sorry. They had toured with Luther Vandross. This is what it was. This is the second tour. They had toured with Luther Vandross, and Luther Vandross dropped them from the tour because of what had happened between Bobby and James. Now, L got it bad from his father in terms of getting beat, but he never really had the actual abuse. But he got it at times, suppose he got it at times from his brother. But the one that got it worse was Bobby and James. And James had got it bad from Bobby, but he was the favorite child from his father. Okay? And Jonathan, who is Chico, and Young, who was Daryl, they never really went through it with the father, because by the time they was toddling and coming up, the father basically was older, and they had left and moved to Grand Rapids. So those three never really got it that bad. Now, moving along with DeBarge, because I'm going to talk about the DeBarge as they grew up. When they got to Grand Rapids, their life became much better. And then Bobby got the deal with Switch with the help of Jermaine Jackson, him and Tommy. Then he helped his siblings along, and they moved out to California, where their brothers were. So what occurred is that they signed a deal with a record label that I cannot stand, because I think that they are more evil than Puffy from the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s and 2020s combined. I think they're more evil than Bad Boy and Jay-Z and whoever put together. Okay, so they signed a deal with this label, and they signed a crummy deal because they were owed millions, and what was done to them is a travesty in that they could have been one of the richest groups. More rich, believe it or not, than the Jackson 5, because they are the second most sampled music group in the history of hip hop after James Brown. So imagine you hearing your songs on the radio, you like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, that's that sample. They sample on my music. I'll never get the millions because we signed a bad deal and we got snaked. Okay, we got snaked. And so between what your daddy did and your brother did, and then these people who you thought were gonna, be nice and kinder to you all, they ended up snaking you with a smile on their face. It's like, to hell with all of this. In order to function, because I'm already mentally messed up, let me go hit the pipe. Let me go snort a line. Let me shoot it up with a needle. Yes, I love Christ, but I'm in the matrix with some crazy ass people. And I got to make it through because I got kids. I got to tour. I got to write music, create music, and I got to eat and sleep and shower and have clothes on my back. So if you want to hate me and call me, no good because I'm doing drugs and I had a metal baton in the back of my truck and I'm 61 years old, so what? Because you know why? At least I know how to do drugs. I've survived all of this. I've made it to the 2020s. I made it to an advanced technological society where people was, ruling me out. And I may not do drugs every day. I may do drugs, I'm saying this in terms of DeBarge. I may do drugs, every 6 months and then stop and then pick it up again because that's the only way I know how to cope. And that's the reality of the whole thing with DeBarge. Or it could be something else too. Maybe he likes getting high. There are some people that like getting high. And he was the last one to get high, to go on drugs. So when you come from a place of trauma, when a person comes from a place of trauma, have compassion because you never know what they've been through. And this is a man who, with the exception of his relationships, he doesn't hurt people. He doesn't go around bullying people. He doesn't go around, starting trouble. He stays very low key. He does his music. And when I mean he's talented, I mean he is talented. DeBarge, I want to give a shout out to Rolling Stone because they listed him as number 167 of the greatest vocalists of all time, which rightfully so. They recognize his genius, and I applaud them for that. But DeBarge should have been as big as Michael and Prince. He should have been part of that trinity of black men of the 80s making it big. He should have had platinum records. But it didn't happen. But guess what? And this is the irony. A man who did crack for years, outlived two megastars, Michael and Prince, and they didn't do crack. He's still here. He's here, So, that tells you something. Tells you a lot. And so I love DeBarge. I love the DeBarge family. I always, send out my best wishes for them because I really think they are truly good people. I really do. But I got to say something, honestly. Their mother didn't really help matters. I like Mother DeBarge, but I feel as though Mother DeBarge should have really tried to help her kids more so and save them from a bad situation and got them therapy. And with that being said, I wish DeBarge the best. And I'm going to end this commentary. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Hit the notification button. Like, comment, share, and I'll be back later on today.